Thank you for joining us on Good Sports. We are excited after a long-waited debate and waiting and debating who should teams pick. We are finally here for the NFL draft. It starts today. We are excited. A lot of you have done mock drafts. We've done a mock draft, and we will find out who makes history for which team. Also, today marks our 1-year anniversary. We've now had over 100,000 views. We thank you, everybody that have joined us. Stay tuned. NFL Draft is next on Good Sports. All right, we are ready to go here. The 49ers have it says the pick is in. We are excited. We have actually had, surprisingly, Jalon Walker has fell in the hands of the 49ers. They absolutely should be taking him right now. They have several players that could be taken here. They've had Walter Nolan, Michael Williams, Will Johnson. There's some different players out there. I think the 49ers really wanted Membu, and he's gone. Graham would have fit perfect for the 49ers. He's gone. We were expecting those gone. Jalon Walker, we were not expecting to fall this far. I think he would be my dream pick here. That's who I would hope that they would take. Anyway, this is cool. They have servicemen and women that are making some picks and doing some things, so that's great. This is always the part. I'm so excited right now because Jalon Walker was one of my favorite people. I really wanted him, and after losing, we lost a lot of players the 49ers did this year, and Dre Greenlaw is going to be hard to replace. He's the real, I should say Charvarius Ward is also harder to lose, but Dre Greenlaw, he was the heart and soul, and to get somebody like Jalon Walker would be an absolute steal. I know we need defensive tackle help. I know we need defensive end. We'll see where it's at. The pick is in. The 49er fans are excited. I'm excited. We've got holes to fill. We better take somebody that is filling those holes. But you've got to take Jalon Walker here. They always do something different than I want. I'm always disappointed. But we'll see. They took Ken Law a few years ago, and I was pretty ticked off. I didn't like the fact that we traded up for Trey Lance. They did that anyway. So apparently they don't listen to me. But Jalon Walker should be the pick, and they took Michael Williams. So there you go. We did take the edge rusher. He's going to be great opposite of Bosa. So there is that. Look at that guy's joy. This is so cool. I do love this moment, but oh my gosh, we should have taken Jalon Walker. We had a stud sitting there waiting. He fell to us, and we took 5 sacks. So this guy's got, now the reason they probably did this is Jalon Walker his one weakness was they said he was a little undersized. Michael Williams, as you can see, he's a big man. That's a big man. And he's got the perfect frame for a person rushing a quarterback. And the 49ers have great coaches on the defensive line, and so they think they can get him to be more productive. He only had like 5 sacks last year. They say he's 260 here. I think they had him listed at 270, 275. He's good off the edge. That's, anyway, he has a good motor. You can see there he got blocked and he kept going and whatnot. So the 49ers, they did fill a need. I'm very happy about that. This is who I thought they were going to take. I just didn't think they had any idea. I don't know if the 49ers picked Michael Williams, said that's who we're going to pick, and didn't have any idea Jalon Walker was going to be available, and didn't realize they could throw away their card because they still had a chance to switch people. But we'll see. We'll come back with other picks. We'll see how he pans out with 49ers, and we'll see. Maybe he'll be better. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think we should have taken Jalon Walker. Okay, I'm joined with
Jalon Walker.
Don't take Jalon Walker. Yes! You took the guard. Who? He is an interior guard. Watch out there. So he is an interior guard. He's really good. He's nasty. He's feisty. He doesn't have quick lateral feet, but he's an interior guard. I thought he'd go a little bit later. He is good. He's too early.
Well, I just thought that they were.
Right.
I just thought that they were going to go wide receiver, running back. But
yes, if you need interior line, he's maybe the best interior line.
Well, what's his name? Martin can't remember his
Zach
first
Martin?
name. Zach Martin just retired.
Yep.
So that's probably what they're thinking.
Yep.
Get somebody
in the
on the left
second round,
side.
so you get somebody that can open up the run, and then you get the running back later.
Wide receiver and running back.
And they probably would have taken McMillan, but they didn't have McMillan available.
And maybe that was the thought. If he was there, they take him. If not, they go O-line and just best player available.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm happy.
I cannot believe that Jalen Walker is still available.
Yeah.
I am utterly stunned.
I'm actually
The Dolphins are next, and now the Dolphins will be interesting because the Dolphins desperately need offensive line, but there's now 4 people off the board. So I don't know. Josh Simmons, he's from Ohio State. It's a little early for him to go.
Sure.
He could have been a top 5 pick, but he hurt his knee. I think it was against Oregon, and hurt his knee and shredded it, and it was really bad. And so he's now healthier. But yeah, it's hard to get excited when you get an interior lineman.
Oh sure.
But linemen make all the difference.
Oh yeah,
in the trenches.
It's the trenches that win.
I love the hat. Okay, at least you didn't get Jalen Walker. If the 49ers gave up Jalen Walker and you would have taken him.
It's funny because Trent and I were just
were you guys all laughing downstairs when they didn't take Jalen Walker?
Oh yeah, they were saying they took the wrong Georgia guy.
Yeah. So
Craig and I were talking about that. So it would be so funny if we
so Malik Williams, I mentioned him as a choice, but Malik Williams has like 5 sacks. He has the perfect body. So when you talk about what you want,
sure.
Malik Williams has it, but he had 5 sacks. It wasn't overwhelming. He was he was good.
So is linebacker a need for the 49ers?
Well, we lost Drake Green. And now the knock on Walker, the only thing I'm wondering is he was smaller, a little smaller, but they can move him around like a Micah Parsons type of thing. I think Walker's going to be awesome. Somebody's going to get somebody good.
I'm just glad he's not on the 49ers.
Oh my God.
49ers really, I think what's really going to happen is the 49ers are going to trade back into the first round to draft Shedeur Sanders.
No, there's no reason to do that. That would be crazy.
You need a quarterback.
They needed to trade. What happened to Pittsburgh? We'll get our Pittsburgh guy on. They should have traded with us, and we should have traded back. I think Malik Williams would have probably gone 15 or so if we didn't take him. There he is. Jalen Walker. All right, we'll see what happens going forward. I think the next team back that we'll be picking will be Pittsburgh. Maybe we'll talk Seahawks talk before. We'll see. All right. Grant, are you happy? What would you say? 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up?
I'm happy.
You're happy.
You're content. You get a top guard.
Why don't you get a quarterback? You need a quarterback. I mean, you're paying a lot of money to.
Dak is underappreciated.
You listen. You have just like you have.
Is this for real? It is for real. Yes.
Cleveland traded away their second pick. It's a Jacksonville to Hunter, who plays 2 positions. In a way, Dak plays 2 positions because he throws the ball to the other team. So he's kind of affecting the offense and the defense. So if you think about it. That's why his salary's so high.
Yeah, I believe if they address the running back, they get a solid, another veteran to go with CD. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Second round, would you go running back or receiver? Because the running back group is bigger.
To be honest with you, I think Dallas will go either wide receiver, running back, or running back, wide receiver for the next 2 picks. I think. I also think that they will at some point take a quarterback, maybe in the 5th, 6th round.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
All right, we'll come back and we'll see. All right, congrats, Grant.
Thanks.
All right, we are back with the NFL Draft. I am joined by Wedley Stewart, a huge Seahawks fan. How you doing, Wedley?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to see who we get.
This is Seattle's pick. The pick is in. Whenever they say the pick is in, they never actually say the pick. They just delay things, and it goes on and on and on, and you're waiting with anticipation. So what position do you think the Seahawks need to help bolster their team?
Well, I mean, first off, they got rid of like a bunch of my favorite people, but right now they really need to like get like a much better line,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
inside area, and we just need to like be able to like get a strong fortress in there
Yep.
to make sure that the quarterback will have enough time.
Yep, build the trenches. They love running the ball. They do well with running the ball. Interior help. They got, is it Gray Zabel is a
Yeah.
potential. We'll see if he goes here or what they do. I mean, they could do a lot of things. Seahawks actually had a really good year last year, first-year head coach. They did some things. Do you think Cooper Kupp joining them is going to have a good year, or do you think he's on his way down, but do you think he'll still be productive? What do you think, Wedley?
I mean, I don't know. I was really happy because beforehand I'd found out like we lost Tyler Lockett,
Yep.
lost DK, and I was like,
Yeah.
shucks, what are we gonna have? And
Yeah.
I mean, so Cooper Kupp, that's definitely gonna help. And
Yep.
I'm thankful for Randy. He's gonna be really happy about this next season. But I
Yes.
mean, I personally don't really know. He could either be like incredible or it could be like
Well, we'll see.
Just
Let's see. The pick is a Gray Zabel.
Yep.
Look at this.
Yeah.
We nailed it.
Got it
We
right.
got it. North Dakota State. You have some good tackles, so you're pretty set there. But your interior line just got a lot better.
Yeah.
Gray Zabel's a legit player. We picked it. We did good. Good job, Wedley.
job. Thank
So
you.
now you've got some receivers. I don't know if you're going to be quite as good at the receiver as you were
Yeah.
before, but you've got some playmakers, and you're going to have a new quarterback in there, and so it'll be interesting in the system. Overall, since that was the prediction that we made, are you happy with how Seattle did?
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for this season because I mean I feel like we're almost like starting on a new plate, like a fresh
Yeah.
plate.
Yep.
Because like this last couple years we got like new coaches and stuff like that, and now
Yeah.
we're getting like a complete starting off with new players and stuff
That's
like
true.
that.
That's true.
So I think that like we could have like the Seahawks could be like a really good team, or we'll just be like the same at being just
mediocre. We'll see. Yeah, it's actually, they took over last year, new coaching regime, but now they've actually put their stamp on it. They've had now a couple drafts. They're now players have changed teams, and so we'll see how Seattle does. I'm happy for you that you got the player you wanted.
Yeah.
I wish my team would take the players that they should have taken. I think
Stupid
Malik
pick.
Williams, 49ers, he's going to be good, but just because you didn't think Jalon Walker was available, and he is, you could say, I'm going to rip up this card that I did last night and go with the better player. But we didn't do that. So
Yeah.
good for you. Good for you. All right, we'll see how the Seahawks do. Thanks for joining us, Wedley.
Thank you.
We are back at the NFL Draft 2025. As you can see, there's been some redecorating going on as we're joined along with Craig Dodds. He is, I don't know if you can tell, little bit of a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Homer.
He's a homer, so he's
Let's
a
just
big
call it
time
what it
fan.
is.
Behind the scenes, Craig and I have been really trying to work some trades between our two teams, but our general managers won't listen to us,
No.
which has been tough, which has been brutal for our teams. But your pick is in. What position do you
goodness,
think
that
you
was
need?
quick.
What position do you
Well,
think
we
you
need a quarterback.
Yes. Okay. You need quarterback, running back.
I need a quarterback and a running back. If the quarterback is dropped this far, I just say let him drop into the second round and we go somewhere
Okay,
else
well,
for a skill position.
So we'll see as a commissioner comes up if they take Sanders, Dart, or will they go Hampton running back or somewhere else? So we can't hear what he's saying. He's usually talking blah 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 blah. This fan looks like I
We're
did.
all shocked.
Who did you get?
Who did you pick? Derek
Oh,
Harmon,
you went
tackle.
defensive tackle. So he's a very good defensive tackle. So I can see Tomlin doing the trenches. He likes the trenches. He always does well, inside there. And so not exactly your sexy pick that you would like.
It's not, but we moved on from Larry Ogunjobi.
Okay, that's a lot of letters,
Okay.
a lot of vowels.
And this is the good replacement for that.
Look at him.
In my
This
opinion.
is so cool. I mean, look at this kid. His future will never be the
And
same.
honestly, when I see
I love that. I love that.
character right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
compared to some of the guys who
Yep.
like they're laying on a couch with just their head sticking up.
Yep.
I like the demeanor. I like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty cool. Okay, so I have a question for you. This is going to be a crazy prediction. Do you predict that Pittsburgh will make the playoffs and lose in the first round? Is that where you think they're going to be? What is it going to take for them to stop being slightly above mediocre?
a quarterback.
A quarterback. So are you going to try to get him in the second round? Would you wait?
So now that we haven't selected the quarterback. In
Yeah.
my opinion, that's because they know they're going to drop.
Yep.
And so I feel I'm fine with the pick here that we went and got a big boy up on the front
I think
defensive
it's
line.
smart. I think it's smart.
I still want to draft a quarterback in the draft, though.
Yeah.
But later in the draft feels like the proper time anyway, unless somebody's going to go up in front of us and literally draft him just to hold him hostage against us.
They're also look at the mom. Look at the mom. She just can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
look
this
at
is
it.
so cool.
I just see
I love
faith
it.
written across her chest.
Yep.
Hope and love. There you go. That's
There
the
you
kind
go.
of
Look at
that's
him.
the kind of men we want in Pittsburgh.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So look at that. Look
He's
at the tears
crying.
flowing down.
Yeah.
You
Welcome to
got dad
Pittsburgh,
up here
Dad.
crying.
Yeah, this is black and yellow right here.
Pretty. Look at. Yeah, I
I'm
can
excited
see, I can
about
see right here.
this.
Well, I'm happy for you. I hope you guys can actually succeed and maybe take a step forward. I think waiting on the quarterback smart because I don't think the quarterback necessarily is not a guarantee at all.
And that
And
we have Aaron Rodgers out there if we can catch him in a
you-
net or
you
something.
could, or in the second round, you can get your quarterback. And there's two quarterbacks still, Dart and Sanders.
Exactly, and I'm fine with either one of them.
All, the rest of the picks, all these teams, nobody needs a quarterback. So somebody's going to have to trade up, or you're going to wait until the second round, and you can trade up in the second round
Yeah.
and get your quarterback and not give up as much because draft capital is amazing. So, well, you also, do you think you need a receiver too? Because Pickens is on the short list for you guys.
I'm waiting out this day. From the reports I've heard, it's like a 50-50 on whether George is for real going to stay in Pittsburgh because he's got one more year left on his contract.
Yeah.
And then he's due a contract extension, and he's going to probably ask for money right up there around the
It's
range
the
of
other
DK
nice thing.
Metcalf.
If you can get a second, third round quarterback that can play, he's cheap. Then you can afford to keep some of those skilled positions like Pickens and whatnot.
What's George? I mean,
He's going to be $30 million.
I mean, for what he productively brings, sure, in a moment, he's pretty unstoppable. In a moment.
Yeah,
And literally, it's a 17-game season now.
yeah,
In my opinion, he doesn't show up for like 5.
yeah.
And I would rather pay somebody,
Right.
get me a slot receiver that can go out there that's going to
Yeah.
cost us $12 million a year,
Yeah.
not $30 million, who shows up every day not crying. I'm over the tears in Pittsburgh.
I have a player for you.
Oh, great.
Now he's got a little spaghetti leg right now, and Brandon Ayuk.
You want to give me Ayuk
He's
again?
got-
Didn't we battle this out last year?
You know how like Elvis had his little knee buckle when he'd do his little
Yeah.
dance? Okay, that's
That's
kinda,
good for dancing,
that's-
not for running down a
that's
football
Brandon
field.
Ayuk right now, and I will make a deal with you today only.
You
Well,
got a $30.
actually, every
You
day.
got a $30 million a year bumper sticker
Yeah,
going
we
on. Is
do
what
right
you
now.
got.
He is.
You still want my offensive lineman
I'll
from the
take
first
him,
from
Sol
last year?
Futano. I'll take him. I
See,
will,
this is like the spoils for me this year because
I'll
I didn't
take
even
your
see my
kicker.
number 1 pick.
I'll take
Nobody's
your kicker.
touching the boss. He's Pittsburgh royalty.
Okay, your prediction going forward this year. Where do you land in the AFC North? Is Baltimore's going to stay on top? I know it's hard to say it, but do you believe it, or do you think you can get it?
This is brutal as a Steelers fan. I think we land 3rd.
Third?
Yeah,
So you got-
except
do
I'm
you
going to
think
go.
Cincinnati on
I'm
top?
going Bengals,
Yeah,
Baltimore, because Bengals just had an
That-
off year. To
Yeah,
me.
they barely lost a whole bunch of games.
And you look at their
Burrow-
offensive scoring.
Burrow is undervalued. He's awesome.
Yeah,
He's
he's like
awesome.
one quarterback in the league where he's that puts on the glasses. I don't want to piss him off, guy.
Yep, and he doesn't have an offensive line. He has great receivers,
No,
but
and they re-signed Higgins, right?
yep, they got
They got-
Higgins. I mean, Chase.
He's got
is-
Chase, who's like
the-
1 or 2 in the league to me.
Yep, absolutely.
So
So you
and
got
they drafted defense in the draft this year.
so you
too,
got
which is good.
Bengals, you got
Baltimore, then us, then that
other
that
team
stain we
from
all
Cleveland. Hey, Cleveland did good. They actually traded down and got a great player. I thought they actually
Yeah.
did well. Now they'll probably blow the rest of the
So I was
picks.
gonna say Cleveland's got a
But-
way of.
But the problem is they've got Deshaun Watson, where they're going to be paying buco bucks for nothing.
I don't think we're gonna see him.
No,
He'll be.
he's somewhere collecting checks, and that's it.
He's in a UPS truck just bouncing around the United States for
That is-
anybody to
That
take.
is a UPS truck that is got to be pretty
Yeah.
expensive. So
I think we're the Browns when Haslam came out and admitted that was on him. It was
Yeah.
a poor decision. I
Yeah.
think that was the first step in them going in the right direction
yeah,
as a
Yeah.
Steelers fan looking at the Browns.
yep. Well,
But they can stay down there.
That's why I think trading back was so smart for them. They got 2 first-round picks next year.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah,
And
they went back 3
they
spots.
Went, they went
and
back
picked
from
up a
2 to
first round
5
pick.
and got a first round pick. So they'll have two first-round picks is unbelievable.
Because who did they do that with? What, Jacksonville?
Jacksonville. And Jacksonville could be a 10th pick, a 12th pick.
Exactly. They could win 5 games next year.
Yeah.
So
that's when
that's a smart
whenever
play
you
by
trade
Cleveland.
you trade with somebody and say, "Hey, congratulations," and then secretly you root against them big time.
Oh,
You're like,
I
hope,
believe it. Yeah.
hope everything bad happens to you. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Craig. Appreciate your support. Yeah, I see you're wearing the bus. Is he your all-time fave? Or Troy Polamalu? Who's on your
All-time
Mount
favorites.
Rushmore for Pittsburgh? Mount Rushmore, 4 players.
4 players.
4 players. Troy,
Troy, Paul
Okay.
Malu, Jerome Bettis,
Heinz Ward,
Heinz Ward.
Mean Joe Green, maybe, or
No, I stated my guys in my era of time.
Okay.
So I leave all those guys for the old
Cordell
school Steelers.
Stewart.
No, Slash isn't making the list. It's hard for after that because
See,
I have
that-
a lot of love for a lot of those guys.
Ben,
Nah, it won't be Ben.
really? Okay.
I love Ben, but
Yeah.
I love the defense was it for me. I love the defense. So
Harrison.
James Harrison's up
Harrison,
there.
yeah.
He was a mean snot. But I loved like Larry Foote.
Okay.
I loved the quiet guy on my defense that didn't get all the
Yeah.
and I loved like Aaron Smith on the D line.
Look at you.
And then
Listen,
I had Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green at one point. Rod Woodson's my
Kevin
dog.
Green,
So,
boy, he was the sack master.
just guys who could throw, but like Heinz Ward, he would block down for like
Oh,
Troy,
yeah.
Heinz Ward, Jerome Bettis,
You have to name
and
one.
then probably Rod Woodson.
Oh, Woodson, good call.
So my very first Steelers jersey was Rod Woodson.
Possibly he's going to be on potentially the all-time team. If you took an NFL team, he's either a cornerback on that team or an alternate on that team. He was
Yeah.
that good. He was that good. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll continue with the draft. We still got Eagles and we still got Chiefs coming up. So, all right, thank you, Craig.
Yep.
All right, we are back in the draft, and we're about to have Kansas City pick. And I don't know that I've ever seen this before, but 2 teams that just played in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of their lives,
Hey.
and they traded with each other.
We can all be friends here, Randy. We can all be friends.
No, I don't think so, but it happened, and so we're about to have Kansas City and Cameron join us, and we're making a switcheroony, and we have Trent.
Oh, they already got it. So the Eagles traded number 32, 164 to the Chiefs for 31. So
Yes.
they gave up what was that,
5th round, probably.
fourth?
I bet that's around a 5th round pick. That's
I think it's
my
4th.
guess. But either way, wow.
So whoever we were going to take or we wanted,
Yeah.
we obviously called into Kansas City, and they said, well, that's who we're taking.
So there is a player available right now.
Yes.
That would be phenomenal. Trent, what do you want to see, and what are you thinking is going to happen here?
I really want Will Johnson.
I-
If this happens, this is killer.
If you reverse 31 and go 13, that's about where Will Johnson was going to go, if not higher.
Yes.
He was the player of the game in the championship last year for Michigan.
Oh yeah, for Michigan, I felt bad for him because even though he got hurt,
Yes.
I felt like when he didn't graduate and leave for the draft with the
Yes.
rest of that team,
Yes.
it kind of felt like that team, almost all their talent had left. I mean, there's some studs left out there, but
I have seen 15 mock drafts. I have never seen Will Johnson fall below than maybe 20.
yes.
That's about the lowest. The fact that he's available, now we'll see if they pick him. But if he doesn't go here, who do you think you would want
okay.
to
Let me
take?
think here. My mind's in a flurry.
Position-wise.
My mind's in a flurry right now.
So here I got positions. I got different people
Oh
in different
gosh.
positions.
Oh gosh.
Um,
It's not.
Will Johnson, what I like
It's
about
not
Will,
a tight end. I don't think they would take Mason Taylor this early, and he's the only tight end left I think's worth a first rounder.
Will Johnson has length to him. It's
I do know they really like Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M, and
and
he
what
hasn't
about
been
Mike
picked yet.
Green? Mike Green, is he still available?
Mike Green's still available, but Howie
That's a good
Roseman
pick.
does have a thing against players accused of sexual assault. So,
Okay, well,
and he
that's-
has sexual assault allegations.
he does. So
But they've come out and said in the past, like we don't.
we don't take even questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know they brought
Mike
Nick
Green
Scorton.
edge right there.
They brought Nick Scorton in for a top 30 visit, so that's
Yeah.
that's going to be a high pick possibly.
You're not taking Shadir Sanders. They got him right up here, scrolling the third. Oh, Campbell, linebacker. I thought he was going to go.
Oh yeah,
around
Campbell,
20.
Jahad Campbell's still available.
There's some really good play. And now offensive. I don't know if you need offensive tackle. This is Josh Simmons.
No,
I would
don't
love
think they
for
would.
him to fall in the second round of the 49ers to grab him.
Yeah.
I
Donovan Ezaraku from
Oh,
Boston
yeah.
College. He came in for a top 30
Yep.
visit.
Yep.
So that's a possibility.
You've got some good players
Man,
still available.
And Nick Amenawari, the safety out of South Carolina, he's still available. He's more of a tradesy guy.
I wonder,
He didn't show up on film as well as Malachi Starks did.
Yeah.
It's more of a trades player.
I wonder if they were looking and thinking, we're only a few picks away, and Starks is still available. At the time, Starks is still available. Will Johnson's available. Let's sit pat. And as soon as a few of them left, they go, okay, it's time to make the move. So,
Overall consensus top board, Nick Scorton is still available, right? He didn't get drafted, correct? I don't think he did.
Nope, I don't believe so.
Texas A&M. Donovan
I can't believe-
Ezaraku I know didn't get drafted.
Think of your cornerbacks that you could have.
I really want Will Johnson. I mean, if you watch that Michigan championship game,
He was the guy.
he was the guy.
He was.
He was
I
the
know.
guy. And he's coming off a knee injury. But
But he's off of
But-
a full year
yeah.
of that.
I mean, Landon Dickerson was coming off a major injury when we
Yeah.
took him out of where was it? Alabama. Yeah, Alabama.
Wow.
And I mean, listen, if he fits the culture, the Eagles will never stop at anything to get him on the team.
Yeah.
Right? We're not going to be scared of an injury if they fit the culture and they're a top player. Listen, if they take Will Johnson right here at this pick, right? Everyone walks away happy.
Yep.
They're going to say we have an opportunity to have the 3 best cornerbacks in the league next year.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to say? And this is the thing. You can take someone else, but the opportunity to have the 3 best cornerbacks in the league.
Man. And if you get somebody injured, they can step in. You can play
And we
inside,
have
outside.
we have players that could start probably at
Wow.
cornerback. You know, we don't have slacks.
A Super Bowl champion should not have this fortune.
Well,
That's bananas.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought at one point I thought we were gonna have the pick of James Pierce Jr., Malachi Starks, and Will Johnson. We're down to just Will Johnson, but so it's not the bevy.
But you know what? Of those 3 people, most mock drafts, you know who was supposed to go first? Will Johnson.
Yeah, I will say this though: Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M absolutely would not be sad about that pick.
Yeah.
He came in for a top 30 visit, and I told you this on the podcast last time we talked. He was standing next to Brandon Graham. Huge human being. I mean, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's a player.
He's the man.
And he's
the
like
man.
he's a defensive end.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Oh
they're
my
really
gosh.
taking their time
This
with this
is
thing.
what they did with my 49ers, and I was begging us to take Jalen Walker. And I think the commercial, we talked ourselves out of it. So I hope you guys don't do that for Will Johnson.
I was gonna say, please
So
tell me it
here
didn't
you
die.
go. Here
I
comes-
really hope Jahad Campbell wouldn't be upset about that
No.
one. I don't think that's a huge
Excellent
fit for us.
linebacker.
If we take Mason Taylor here, I think it's just too early. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be kind of disappointed with that pick.
Yeah.
We never even talked about other cornerbacks. Let's say they don't feel great about Will Johnson. I really like Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. Feel really
Yeah.
confident about him. So
It seems a little early for him.
it's a little early for him, but I like him.
Okay, so see, you gave up. Yep. Like,
Fifth round
it
pick.
was a 5th round
There you
pick.
go. Look at that.
You gave up a 5th round. If you gave up a 5th round pick for a Will Johnson, and that's who you get, he's a potential Pro Bowler.
Yeah. I
With-
will say
with,
the Mike
Mitchell.
Green thing, just because he's flashing up here on the board right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mike Green thing. I will say if Howie did his research, because they do their own research,
Right.
if Howie did his research and found
Yeah.
that whatever the allegations were, they
Then
were
they'll go
not
for him.
credible, then
Right.
I'm sure they'll go for him.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Hopefully he doesn't babble for a long time. Looks like he's actually finally getting right to it. So the Kansas City Chiefs traded away. I've never seen 2 Super Bowl teams share.
Oh, there's our guy.
There's
my boy. I wonder if
Oh,
Sesame
what
Street's
about-
there.
Yeah, Sesame Street. You'd have to have a little.
Jahad Campbell, linebacker,
You got the
Alabama.
linebacker. Good
Yep.
for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
great player.
So
like
he
I
was-
said,
he
not
was
mad about
mocked
that.
around the 20th pick. So,
So that mean that makes sense because
Moss.
Kansas City lost their linebacker. What was his name? Bolton, Nick
Mm.
Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
They lost their linebacker this year in free agency, so I bet you that's who they were going
jumped
to
him
take.
to take him.
Well, they didn't jump him; they made a deal.
I cannot believe that Will Johnson could fall out of the first round.
Yeah. Well, not only that, Shadur Sanders is currently falling out of the first round.
Yes.
We got to get Cameron in here for the Kansas City pick.
Yes.
But let me tell you this. Don't be surprised you see the Eagles early in the next second round.
Move up.
We have so many picks. There's a good chance
Yeah.
that we move up again.
I am so happy about this. I want him to fall because
Listen, And we talked about
look
this.
Look at that joy. Look
There
at
was
that joy.
3 players. There
Look
was
at this. Look at this.
He's
joy.
excited.
This
He's
is
real excited.
So cool.
There was 3 players in the draft that we talked about. Remember, there was Abdul Carter, who I said he's a Micah Parsons type. They move him around, right?
Jalen Walker.
Then Jalen Walker, they move him around. But I remember we talked about this on the podcast. Jahad Campbell was one of the few players that wasn't as well talked
I love
about.
This guy's passion.
He's
right now.
more of a linebacker.
Right.
He's more of a linebacker.
Yeah.
But he got 3.5 sacks last year playing the off-ball linebacker.
Yeah, he's
so
sideline to sideline fast. So I thought he could go like 15.
yeah.
So
I'm surprised. I don't think there was a lot of linebacker needy teams, but I mean, watch
Yeah.
how they line them up. Just like Micah Parsons over the center right here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just similar stuff. They used him in a much similar way where they just moved him all
Look
over the
at that
field.
speed and
They
power.
lined him up at nose tackle, outside linebacker, middle linebacker. They moved him all around. Right there, he's off-ball backer. Just a little late blitz. I mean, it's great movement out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Good
I'm not
for
mad
you.
about this pick whatsoever.
Good for you. So
That would be such a bummer, wouldn't it?
we are joined back at the draft after a trade between 2 Super Bowl competitors. Your Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
They come in. They get a 5th round pick to move back 1 spot. You still have Will Johnson, who I thought for certain was going to go, but Campbell did go to the Eagles, who is a great linebacker. So there's a couple really good picks. Simmons, I just wonder if they're going to take him. He would have been a top 5 pick, but his injury for an offensive tackle.
Yep.
You got Will Johnson, who was mocked as high as 6 or 7, and you're at the last pick in the draft. Or they could go somewhere else. There's Mike Green, who's a good edge guy. So who would you want to see him pick here?
I'd love Will Johnson would be great. Will Johnson,
Yep.
Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun little
Yeah, that
cornerback duo.
That would be-
It'd
would
also
be-
be really fun to just kind of take that, little piece of gold, the 32nd pick. But in our real need is probably offensive line. We should probably take Josh Simmons, just because that's what we need. Is that what we're gonna do? I don't know. No one else seems to have taken what they needed.
Gosh, I hope you don't take Josh Simmons. I'm wanting him to fall in the second round, a few picks, and have the 49ers come up and grab him. But
Yeah.
that's a pipe dream, probably.
Mike Green would be cool too.
Yeah.
Just because him and Chris Jones sitting up there on the front line, that
Ooh,
would be
Chris Jones.
that would be pretty fun.
I'll tell you, at the 32nd pick,
Mhm.
to have, especially in not necessarily the best draft, to have some really good choices.
Oh yeah,
You have some really good choices.
3 like top 15 picks in most drafts.
And both
at
these teams are
option.
in the Super Bowl for the right reasons because
Oh, yeah.
they know what they're doing. So,
They do.
how shocked are you that you actually traded with the Eagles? I mean, who does this
I'm surprised that the Eagles didn't trade sooner, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised that we did trade with them, because I guarantee you, the Eagles called the Chiefs up and were like, "Yo, we want,
Campbell.
so and so,"
Yeah.
and Chiefs were like, "Okay, give us a 5th round pick because
'Cause
we
we're
don't
not
want
taking him
yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
If
I
you
mean-
really want him that bad,
Sure.
give us something.
you
know?
could either just wait 10 minutes,
Yeah.
or give us a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
And that they
And
got a
Philly was just so antsy.
They got a
And
fifth round pick.
their Vegas money line for the trade up was gonna hit. So
So who's your guess? Is it Simmons?
my guess is
My guess is-
probably Simmons. Yeah.
Wow. I can't. I'm stunned that I'm stunned that around 27 you still had Starks available.
I'm just glad Shadur didn't get
Yeah.
picked at all.
Well, yeah, he's not getting picked. That's going to continue. So let's see what we got. Who did they take? Oh, they did. They took Josh Simmons. Oh,
Yes, that is
oh.
good. But that is crazy that Will Johnson
I-
fell to the second round.
That's
insane.
Will Johnson fell to the second round.
I feel bad for that kid.
Yeah, and the only good part for him is
1 sack in 2 seasons.
a player that is really
1
good.
sack.
Yeah, he would have been the number 1 pick, but he got hurt.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's number 1.
6'4", 317.
Oh, he's a beast.
That is a big boy.
He's a beast.
That is a big boy.
So if his knee holds up, which he's had time to heal,
yeah, and he's
you
on
know-
a good team that has great trainers and stuff.
but
and-
he's a legit left tackle,
yeah.
the primo position,
Yep.
and you'll get him for 5 years.
Uh-huh.
and you got him at the end of the first round.
Yes, we did.
That is pretty impressive. So, and Will Johnson's still available.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the end of the first round is over. I think every team's going to come away. This is always funny. Every team is going to come away and say, "We nailed it. This is exactly who we wanted. Our player. Oh, we didn't think this will be 32 times. Well, not 32. The first person won't say it, but." There's going to be time after I shocked that player was still available on the board, and we're so smart and geniuses.
Yeah.
But there are a few teams that did really well, and I would say Josh Simmons was a good pick. I think the Eagles did really well with their pick, and being in the Super Bowl and then drafting well in the first round again.
You know who I think did the best?
Who's that?
The Rams.
Because of what they're going to get next year.
Yeah.
I know. They're going to have two first-round picks next year.
Yeah, that's how confident they are.
I think
they're either rebuilding or they're just confident enough that they're going to make it back to the playoffs.
Yeah, Atlanta did really well with Jalen Walker.
We'll see
Pierce,
how. I think the Browns are going to do really well in the second round.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent still out there.
The Browns trading down. Finally, they did something good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they're going to make up for the Deshaun Watson debacle. That will haunt them for a long time.
I don't know.
That's going to haunt them for a long time. Well, that wraps it up for us. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Maybe we'll do some. After all the rounds are done, we'll get back together and talk about things and see second, third, fourth round. And all the way through the seventh round. We'll see how things go going forward. Thanks for joining us, Cameron, and everybody join us. It was a lot of fun. Again, hit that subscribe button if you like it. We now, 1 year into this, had our 100,000th view.
Yep.
So pretty cool, pretty exciting. Thank you guys for your support, and we will see you next time. Thank you.